Hi, I'm obviously new here, and I want to introduce myself. So, as a mini introduction, my name is Samantha. I'm a graphic designer. I live in New Hampshire. I consumed about 100 books in 2019. So as a gift to myself and the reading community, I figured I really need to join BookTube. I'm following the BookTube Newbie tag. Doesn't sound right. It's a Wikipedia spread, and there are a bunch of questions here, so I'm just gonna... Why did you start this channel? And I mean that other than, you know, I read a lot of books and I review a lot of books, and I just wanted a new platform to review said books. I also want to get into reading more advanced reader copies, and to do that I really do need a more public platform. So basically, to build credibility, it would be a nice medium to kind of promote myself as an artist and as a book reviewer. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? Well, like I said, artist. I've produced this book. It's about macrame and home decor, and I am actually going to somehow manage to tie this to the miscellaneous literature that I read. I do know how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to exclusively do macrame on here, but I do plan to tie crafts into some of the books that I review. Hopefully, I'm hoping to be able to do a monthly type thing, but we'll see. My new channel. What am I most excited about for my channel launch? Well, I'm hoping that I'll make some new friends. I'm kind of hoping that I'll get to know viewers better. I'm hoping that I'll grow a following so that my reviews will feel a little bit more meaningful. But yeah, I can't wait to have comments in my channel. Why do you love reading? I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I use it as a form of escapism in a sense. If I didn't have audiobooks, I would be a very nervous person. It's really helped me with my mental health, and it's most certainly something I recommend for everyone. What book or series got you into reading? Way back when I was a kid, I got into the American Girl books. That's what really was more of a catalyst to me reading during the summer. I just read what I was forced to read in school during school time. And then in college, I read The God-Shaped Hole, and that actually was probably my jumping point into reading more books that were more on par with my tastes and my interests, and so that's cool. And now the author actually follows me on Goodreads, so that's really awesome too. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? When do you find time to film? I did just invest in this light ring, which you can probably see reflected in my eyeballs. And I think Chandler's channel for recommending this as, like, you know, something, but it's like dark now, so there's really no time for me to film during the day, so this is something new, so I'm grateful for this. But any newbie advice I would love. But when do you really have time to film? When do you film, and how do you know, get around your work schedules? What challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? And for me, that's timing, and I have a slew of content that I would love to get into and record, but it's just a matter of getting off my lazy ass and doing it. Editing is probably my biggest pitfall right now because I'm doing everything on my iPhone, and so I'm stuck with iMovie. I think editing is really going to be the biggest thing for me to overcome and to just let things go. I'm usually a pretty laid-back person to begin with, but it's been difficult just accepting one take on things and then just going with the flow. So I've done this film about 4 times now, so we'll see. When did you start reading? Now we'll talk about when I started reading more seriously. And I think that it was in 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. I joined a group in which they were to read 50 books in a year and also watch 50 films in a year. I knew I was going to fail the film portion of the challenge because I would rather read a book versus watch a movie. And I know that sounds kind of weird because I just, something about my attention span with film, I don't know. I'm not a huge movie goer. But anyway, I did fail that challenge in the book front too, but I came really close to completing it and I was super proud of that. But so I kind of renewed that challenge every year until one year I read like next to no books. So I amended the challenge so that I could complete 2 books a month. I kicked that challenge's butt, and then I've just added 5 books since then. In 2020, my goal will be 50 books again, yet this year, 2019, I did consume over 100 books. There's a reason. We can thank audiobooks, my library, and 2 part-time jobs which have me working all by myself and are quite mechanical, so they don't really require much thought. So anyway, and then I think it was 2014 when I discovered BookTube was a big thing, and it was Reagan's channel that got me really more interested in reading more fantasy, and I think that was really what pushed me into reading more openly. And so that brings me to now. And where do you read? I read a lot from my bed. I primarily read from my bed at night before bed, but I also listen to books pretty frequently at my job and in the car because I do drive around a lot, and yeah, so I read everywhere technically. And then what kind of books do you like to read? I primarily read science fiction and fantasy, but I do occasionally pick up nonfiction as well, which the nonfiction category isn't really discussed much here on YouTube, so we'll put some of that in here. I think that's it. I think I answered all these questions. So anyway, that's it for now. I would love to know if you're new to BookTube, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to take a look. If you've done this book tag, I'd love to know. I did this tag because Reads with Cindy had done this tag, and I'd asked her where she got the questions, and I will link the questions down below. I'll also link you to her version of this because it's pretty amusing, and that's it for now.